There she is. Our old manor.
失礼。
It's smaller than I remember.
You were a couple of feet shorter back then, Sherry. Or maybe it's bigger on the inside.
はい、ということで、続きからやっていきましょう。本当に蜂をくれた。
I should write a book about the behavior of bees someday. I did not expect these to still be here. It was enjoyable to practice using real handcuffs to make an arrest. An irreplaceable tool for catching a thief.
Hey, that's Wooden Joe. He was always the best at playing criminals.
And this must be the reason our suspect was apprehended. Wood and glass, very precious. Look at the ash all over the door. I don't recall hearing of a fire.
We don't have to stay here. You can afford another night or two at the hotel.
It's stuck.
Oh well, let's just head back. They probably haven't even stripped...
Come on.
Seems fine to me, Sherry. This barrier, perhaps it's mental, not physical.
Or perhaps the rest of us are simply constrained by reality, John. I wonder if there's a key secreted somewhere in the garden.
Try to recall that memory about the policeman, Sherry. Concentrate.
The policeman brought us both home, John. That's why he was here.
I'm pretty sure he brought something else with him too. Do you remember what it was?
マイクロフトか。
I bet it was our reward.
No, we were not so lucky. It was a set of lockpicks that we had used to sneak into someone's house. That's why we were arrested.
Did someone come out to investigate all the commotion?
It was Mycroft. He smoothed things over and convinced the policeman not to press charges.
こっちがマイクロフ
The
ト。
officer left and never returned. But we had to endure a serious talking to from my brother. Mycroft wasn't happy about the fact that we were arrested. Felt like he lectured us for hours.
Did we give him something afterwards, Sherry?
場所は合ってたけど、あの後なんかいろいろ試したらなんか話しかける際で
Yes.
証
Yes,
拠が
now I
違ったみ
remember.
たいで、
It was a letter. That's why we snuck into the house. Mycroft
ちゃんとし
asked
たや
us
つ
to.
正しいやつやったら普通
Wasn't
に話しかけ
angry
る
we
みたいな。
stole,
出る入り
but
だ
that
け
we
ど。
got caught.
Oh, that's right. It must have been only a couple of months
あ、で
after
も
we
何にも
moved
な
to
かった。
Cordona.
まあなんかもう
Ah,
M はいなかった。
Good old days. Whoa.
How very odd. It appears that
結局 M が
memory stood between me and the manor.
誰なのか
It's as
わ
if
か
my
んない。
mind palace had seeped into the real world.
モリアーティ
This
の頃
deserves further
もう終わっ
investigation.
てしまったなんか。
Perhaps there's more to discover inside.
As long as there is a comfortable place to put my feet up, I'll be happy. Maybe a chaise longue.
Aha. In we go.
普通に海外逃亡を図られて終了みたいな。これこっちか、どっちかっていうとホテル入れたんだけどね、誰もいなくて。さようならみたいな。今のところもうでもサイドストーリーもね、ほぼほぼまあ今見つかってるやつはやって、あとはまあこの財宝がまあ見つかればいいかなぐらいの感じだね。なんで今メインストーリーを。
Home sweet home, Sherry.
One of the first things I saw when entering this house as a child. It's like deja vu.
競売のお知らせ、高級の競売が7月20日にストーンウッド邸で行われると連絡がありました。ホームズ家の所有物の中でも最高の品質のものが出品されますと。
And I was wondering why it's so empty in here.
There
yeah.
may be a small chance that some of our property could be found among local traders' wares. It is worth a look, wouldn't you say?
姉妹点在する家具商からシャーロック屋敷用のアイテムを入手することができる。なるほど。地元の商人たちの店で売り払われた価格が見つかるかもしれない。まあこれもなんか別に街中歩きながらまあ見つかれば買おうかなぐらいでいいか。間違えた。なんか今適当にボタン押してたらロボットした俺もしかして。ここで労働してしまった。まあいいや。結構頻繁にオートセーブ入ってるから問題ないかな。
Another one. There must be something important behind it. I can feel it.
操作だな。Xbox だから。あ、海外のゲームは大体そうだよね。プレステとごっちゃになるよな。
Another one. There must be something important behind it. I can feel it.
決定ボタンとキャンセルボタンが逆だから。逆というか、まあ、丸と×が逆だから。ストーンウッド邸の悲劇。ワイルド・ホームズ夫人が1869年4月9日の昨日自宅で突然亡くなった。はいはいはい。病弱で肺病に侵されたにもかかわらず、ホームズ夫人はすぐにコルドナの上流階級に迎え入れられた。考古学者であった彼女は男性にも匹敵する非凡な才能と非凡な力かと才能に恵まれ、聖女のような両親と皮肉に富んだ基地も持ち合わせていた。古代の遺跡の専門家であり鑑定士となった屋敷に到着した警察は捜査を行った。が詳細は未だに公表されていない。彼女の死因も不明である。
Something did happen that day, but no one can tell us the details. How can that be?
これは、違う。
Agreed. It's rather suspicious.
Great.
Home sweet home, Sherry.
Home Street Home Sherry.
Hey, this is the luggage we brought from London, isn't it?
なんだいぜって一回はこんなもん。
I remember how angry Mycroft was about these marks. He called it a frivolous, childish endeavor.
手すりにファックって書いてやっぱあれなんだけどね。ライ麦畑で捕まえてるの。
I think our family portrait used to hang here.
ゴールディ
I think our family portrait used to hang here.
主人公の名前忘れた。みんな大好き。
Another one.
ライ麦畑で捕
There
まえ
must
て
be something important behind it. I can feel it.
特にないな。みんな大好きかどうか知らんけど。俺大学の時読んだな。完全に広角機動
This
隊の影響
book,
で。
where I kept my collection of coins, it used to be bigger.
記念硬貨か。退屈ゲームがしたいと言っていたなと。はあ。 島中に1枚ずつ隠してある。そんな見つかるわけないだろうが。島にコインが1個落ちてただけあってさ。わかるわけないよ、こんなもん。地図も同封されている。あー、なるほどね。
Oh, no, 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 no. We won't let this stand, right, Sherry? I want to find my coins.
It's going to be difficult. The sands of time, you know? Some things may have changed, but you're right. We can't let Mycroft win.
僕が集めた鉱を島の至るところに隠した父が始めた鉱化収集のを後に僕が引き継いだ。バカやろこれ。地図に印をつけた。ああ、これね。まあ一応場所が分かってるならまあ探せないことはないか。まあ近く寄ったらまあ探すかな。
Another one. There must be something important behind it. I can feel it. Another one. There must be something important behind it. I can feel it.
何を探せばいいんだ。誰もいない屋敷なのにろうそくがついてるのは怪しいけど。
I heard footsteps upstairs a second ago. Wait, do we have an attic here?
屋根裏があるのか。ありそうだけどな。何を調べるんだろう。どこ調べてないだろう。出てこないな。特に何にもないか。
Another one. There must be something important behind it. I can feel it.
あった。これか。
Mycroft's umbrella. The only outgoing thing in his wardrobe.
Another memory incoming, Sherry.
Strange. I struggle to recall anything about the day we moved in. The only detail I'm sure of is that it was raining early that morning.
また。この雨はどこから？
Home sweet home, Sherry.
あれやんだな。あ、これか。これにして、こうだ。ああ、やってきた。
Our mother brought a slew of belongings with her. She refused to leave a single
そ
thing
う
in
か。で
London.
も家具を買い戻すためにお
Mycroft
金
had
が
to
いるん
spend
だ
the
ったら
whole day dealing with
変
it.
な衣装買ってしまったな。変な衣装というか衣装を買ってしまったな。
This trip was a challenge for our mother. I tried to help her.
とあとはあ、これか。
There was always a hat on our stand, but I'm sure it did not belong to Mycroft.
Do you feel it? Is it the air shimmering, or is it my imagination?
Eh, これがまた難解なんだよな。
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
はい、違いますね。読み込まないといけない。どれがヒントになるんだ？これか。荷物を大量に抱えて、それは主に母さんが荷物。ロンドンに残していくのを嫌がったからだ。マイクロフトは忙しく荷物を片付けていた。コロナ禍までの旅は母さんにとって大変で、僕は助けようとした。洋服掛けにはいつもの帽子がかけてあったが、マイクロフトのものではなかった。僕らの家を頻繁に訪ねていた人間がいる。ああ、なるほどね。これマイクロフトかな。マイクロフト、僕ら、違う。これか。OK。
Your neighbors will be told that Mrs. Holmes is suffering from tuberculosis. It is common to move closer to the sea in such cases.
Thank you, Dr. Richter. No, Sherlock, step away from her. Upstairs, go to your room.
リヒター博士。
Lean on me, mother. Take your time.
Actually, I never heard her coughing. I remember now.
肺病だけど咳をしていない。マイクロフトの医師に荷物を母さんを助けようとして弟を見たマイクロフトは彼に2階の自分の部屋に行くように命じた。最後に到着したのは医者のオットー・リヒター。バイオレットさんが結核持ちだと近所に伝えることを勧めていた。だがバイオレットさんが咳をしていないことにシェリーは気づいた。
Oh, I feel dizzy. It's stuffy in here, isn't it?
John, are you all right?
I'll be okay in a minute. How about we find our room in the meantime?
Look at this. It's like traveling 10 years into the past with a single step. Oddly satisfying.
VR。は、なんかあれなのかな、立体的に見えるのかな。
Sharp and well balanced. It would be a pity to leave such a tool behind. Sharp and well balanced. It would be a pity. Need to repeat this one day, but with bullets.
何 VR って。
One of John's first pictures. I
ジョンが最初に
think
描いた絵
this
の
was
一つだ。
supposed to
お
be
そらくマ
Mycroft.
イクロフトだろ
He really has improved his skills since then. This brings back memories. We used this
う。彼
old
の
diary
冒
to
険を記
keep
録
track
してい
of our
た。
adventures.
カメラは
I
父の
think
も
it
の
was my
だった。
father's. John, do you think we can visit some of the places mentioned in the diary for old time's sake?
Why not? Nothing like a stroll down memory
はあ、
lane.
なんか、
Note down the places you'd like to visit, and I'll add what I remember of them.
まあ場所がわかるなら。
I'll never forget how
Yeah,
challenging it was to obtain this simple sketch.
上手だね。
Oh, these must be the notes of my earliest observations. We wanted to locate a particular dog we'd spotted, and we met it, didn't we?
お上手。
Oh, it reminds me of our neighbour. He had the same balloon in his yard, only bigger. Do you remember?
Yes. We visited him several times while living here.
Coal dust from Miner's End, sandy dirt from the old city. We scoured the island top to bottom for these soil samples.
失礼。
The first chemical laboratory I ever made. I almost miss its elegant simplicity. Look at this, John. Remember how desperately I wanted to learn the violin? I never had a proper opportunity.
Such a shame. I always hated the rule about being silent in this place.
A magnificent tool made for a spurious purpose, staring into the sky.
すげえな。
I've
空き家だ
definitely
けど
found a
物
better
がいっ
use
ぱい
for it.
残ってるな。もったいない。
You mean for spying on people?
Interesting. What's that over there?
鍵だ。チェスかと、チェスの駒かと思った。
This doorknob has a cross-shaped end. Too intricate to be merely a handle.
You know what? That definitely looks like a key.
これ銃
Let's
じゃん。
poke
あ
around
銃
and
じ
see if we can find any secrets.
The only fiction book on my table. I can still hear my mother reading it to me. So many pleasant evenings were spent here with the Encyclopedia Americana.
ゃん。よし。ジョンは僕らの部屋に隠された宝を見つけるように僕に挑戦してきた。なるほどね。家族ぐるみの友人。母さんの死についての記録はないか。コルドナに家族ぐるみで付き合っていた友人がいた。彼らなら何か知ってるかもしれない。マイクロフトは嘘ついた。なるほど。これにして、
Wasn't that neighbour missing a finger?
That does sound vaguely familiar. Wasn't his name, Theodore? Theodore Gilden, perhaps?
It's the perfect time to investigate. Nah, doesn't fit here. 木のとって合わないのこれ。
The first chemical laboratory I ever made. I almost miss its elegant
いらっしゃい。
simplicity.
これじゃないんだ、木のとって。なるほど。あ、開いた。
Perfect match.
パーフェクトマッチ。
My small archive of crime clippings. Maybe I should pick up this habit again.
これも外れそう。
Still has a faint odor of tobacco, one of the few things on this
これ鍵になってるわけじゃない
island that smell like home.
パイプだ。
Made of cherry wood. Father's
桜
favorite.
の木でできている。シジェホームズのパイプ。小さくまっすぐな喫煙用のパイプだ。桜の木でできており、シェリーの亡くなった父親シジェホームズのものだ。僕らはパイプをロンドンのシジェさんの戸棚から盗んだので、パイロットさんに見つからないようにしなければならなかった。木は古く頻繁に使われたことで、表面が擦り切れているが、よく手入れされている。かすかなタバコの香りが残っている。シャーロックはシジェさんのパイプを持っていた。おそらく強い思い入れがあるのだ。
I knew you'd find it in no time.
Yeah. グリークブリッジ近く。友人がグリークブリッジ近く。グリークブリッジ。庭にガス気球がある。グリークブリッジ、まあ、この近くか。 まあそこ行ってみるしかないね。次はね。まあどの道出るのか。よし。OK。で、出るついでに、ちょっと遠いな。コインのところ行きたいんだけどな。飛ぼう。えーっと。ここら辺。あった。隠された効果1枚目。調査員 D がイタリア人の工作員を襲い内通者と接触した。イタリアの工作員これ何？あ、これもしかして自分で探さないといけないの？木の階段を降りて墓地から逃亡、マイナーズエンド地区南の街道、墓地正面入り口近く、交差点を監視した。リッパー通りとハーバーアベニューの交差点。外交場所の東にある橋の下。福祉は指には小さく傷の形の新しい傷があり、服からは魚と汗の強い匂いがした。手紙の隠し場所を発見した。同じ場所に効果が隠してある。はあ、これ探さないといけないんだ。目のマークだから集中使えばいいんでしょ。違うのか。これ大変だな。魚だからなんか、魚の匂い。指には小さく不規則な傷。オラン街道とビューレーン交差点。魚。外交場所の東にある橋の下。ここかな。結構これ探すの大変だな。ここだね。 魚の匂い。魚の匂い。わあ、めっちゃ銃持ってるこの人。魚の匂い。あれ？コカの葉は薬ではない。何これ？何それ？指には小さく不規則な指には小さく不規則な傷の形の傷。恐竜の骨。何それ？なんか急になんか来た。え？ああ、これは幼きコルドナなのか。なんかいろんなものが起きる。どういうことだよ。
Salty breeze, warm sand. Oh, I wish we spent more time relaxing.
It was an early morning. For some reason, we snuck out of the house and crossed the bridge into Miner's End.
We were always adventuring, Sherry. Focus on the bone. That's what's important here.
Yes, I remember. It was
Big
huge, but wait. How did we find it? I think there was someone else. Oh, of course, Toby, our furry partner in crime, John. How could I have forgotten?
Whoa, it was quite a while ago. Hey, do you remember how we met him?
I remember bell sounds and sweat and the smell of incense. I think it was at the church in Western Miner's End. Let's find the place.
なるほど。コルドナストーリーがちょっと急に来たな。
May I ask you something?
Will you cry if I don't answer your questions?
Are you able to help me?
Will you cry if I don't answer your questions?
Time to check your who, what, and what, Sherry.
服装がダメみたい。
Who are you asking?
Is this familiar
about
to you?
what and dressed as
No,
what?
friend. I'm sorry. I don't know the answer.
魚の匂い。
Is this familiar to you?
You have a job, so why don't you go back to it instead of bothering me?
Time to check your who, what, and what, Sherry. Who are you asking? About what and dressed as what?
魚の匂いに不規則な形の傷。不規則な形の傷ってなんだ？
Is this familiar to you?
Stick to your kind in the factory and get out of the way.
Muzu. 単純にむずいの探すの。謎がむずすぎる。ちょっともういいかな。なんかちょっとめんどくさすぎるな。だいぶこれきついな。不規則だ。魚と汗の匂い。なんかこう、魚を加工してる工場みたいなのがあんのかな。こっちじゃないのかな。ここに行くまでに消えてるってことだよな。リッパー通り。モラン街道と B レーン。交差点。リッパー通りとハーバーアベニュー。魚の加工工場みたいなのがあるか。ちっちゃ、ここドア。めっちゃドアちっちゃくないこれ。こっちじゃないな。魚の加工場。魚の加工場。まあそこのルート内にはさすがにあるだろうな。でもな、魚と汗の匂い。汗の
Is this familiar to you?
I don't know, my friend. Perhaps someone else knows?
あ、魚と汗の匂い。魚の匂い。違うか。のんべえしかいねえ。面倒だな。 こなんじゃないの？他の歯は薬ではない。あー、めんどくさ。ちょっといいや。ちょっとこれ、なんか、時間かかるな。まだこっちの方がいいわ。マイナーズエンドの中心から西に行ったところにある教会の近く。マイナーズエンド地区中心。教会。マイナーズエンド地区の海岸。違う、これじゃない。ああ、これ調べないといけないのか。マイナーズエンド地区の中心から西に行ったところにある教会の近くだ。教会。ここら辺にあんのかな。事件ってわけじゃないからな。結構大変だな、行き来が。推理があるわけでもない。これなんか違うな、これ。通り抜けられるのか。違うな。教会。ついでになんかギャングの根城ないか。教会。マイナーズエンド中心から西に行ったところの教会。
Is this familiar to you?
Of course. The streets have the information you seek.
ここか。教会。ここだ。
The morning sun was shining and church bells called the town to mass, but we weren't here for a ceremony. We were running.
誰かから逃げていった。
Of course. The dreaded Dudley. He was still incensed after the stolen clothes incident and wanted to teach us a lesson. I can almost see where we ran.
こっちか。僕らはいじめっ子たちに追いかけられて、マジこれ特殊能力だよな。そんな子供の頃の足跡が残ってるわけないしね。
We lost him for a moment and tried to hide. You pointed to the small courtyard and we ran in.
特殊能力すぎる。来 汚い庭。
We hid behind crates full of fish. They were stamped as fresh, but I remember my stomach did not agree with that statement.
Oh, no, that smell. It almost made me want to face Dudley. But before that happened, there was a noise. The idiot had a brain the size of a peanut, but when it came to finding us across the island, his cunning was almost supernatural.
Unlike us, he knew many kids on Cordona, and all were eager to get into his good favors. But this time, he met someone who wasn't scared of him.
なるほど。あれか。
We heard a low growl first, then a dismissive cry, a loud bark after that, and a terrified scream a moment later.
And when we looked up, we saw only a big angry dog with ripped breeches in its jaw. I was scared, but you wanted to get closer, Sherry, remember?
He looked hungry, and I had a sandwich from home. He sniffed it
パンとハムを
cautiously
これ
and
で
then
ピクルス
accepted
食う
it
のか
and let me pet him. It was the first of many snacks.
Ugh,
Well,
those
sort of.
dreaded ham and pickle sandwiches. Lucky for Toby, I'm more of a tuna guy.
John, I'm starting to recall something else. Close nearby, under the building with a huge water tower on top, we saw it from the church.
給水塔がある建物で教会から見ることができた。給水塔がある建物で教会から見ることができた。そもそもこの時代の給水塔ってどれ？
Are you able to help me?
You have a job, so why don't you go back to it instead of bothering me?
あれか。本当に給水塔だった。これだな。給水塔。力か。
We heard rumors that this place was haunted, strange lights in the night, people disappearing. One night we decided to investigate. Toby was with us, always happy to join on our escapades. He stopped when we neared the building and refused to go further, but I was resolute. It was pitch black, so we had to light the lamp. The smell of oil and burned hair
と
filled the
髪
night.
が焼ける匂いがした。
And something
暗闇
moved
で
in the
何かが
shadows.
動いた。
It was a man.
あ、変
I
人だ
remember。a dirty shirt, horrifying smile, and a pair of manacles in his hand. We turned to run. で、 あれか。 That's when we saw that we were cut off. This one had a rope in his hands. My heart sunk. Then I heard a growl. Toby jumped the slavers with
Toby.
all the fury his size contained. We got the hint and ran like the clappers. And I never saw our Toby again.
He departed Cordona soon after that night, Sherry. Perhaps he was hiding or wandering. It was not unlike him to disappear for weeks on end.
Yes, you may be right. I regret going to that place. Should have listened to Toby's warnings.
And leave a haunted building unexplored? You know very well that is a mystery that would have nagged us forever.
I know, and yet...
No sense dwelling on ifs and maybes. We can choose to remember those times how we want. I'll draw a picture. You just pick the scene.
I want to remember our last adventure. How Toby saved us.
If you insist. The drawing might turn out a little morbid, but I'll do my best. I miss our Toby.
で、今度は調べないといけないのか。後のために写真を撮ろうって出てるな。速報記事、救出劇。これ読み始めると長いな、サイドストーリーな。空き家の冒険。これどうしよう、コルドなストーリーあんまし。なんか微妙なんだよな。邪魔。
I'm watching you closely, Mr. Holmes.
10年前。今何年これ。ジョン。これか。読者諸君は我らの誇るべき軍隊についてご存知だろう。彼らは世界中で勝利を収め我々を守ってくれるとみんな信じている。海軍や密業者や奴隷商に目をつる人々の苦しみをよそに私腹を肥やしていたとしても、エスター・ジェイコブソンの代理ジョンによる記事。
The editor here is a quack, putting my gripping corruption investigation on the 4th page. We can't tolerate such disrespect, right, Sherlock?
Yes, John. You know, I'm starting to remember. We wrote it somewhere in this building. Let's find where.
記憶をたどってみよう。どこだ？新聞社ってここだよな。
May I ask you something?
It's none of your business, worker.
ほう、労働者だとバカにしたな。
Is this familiar to you?
I can't help you with that, sir.
Oh, I am bored. Call me when you find the answer.
服装で人の価値を決める。
I'm watching you closely, Mr. Holmes.
こっちじゃないの。あれ、新聞社ってここじゃないの？あ、これか。
There was a military parade that day. Everyone was there, so we had the office at our disposal for a while. Still, it's a miracle we weren't caught.
An underappreciated masterpiece was born here. You recall anything else?
で、こっちね。
Working on this machine felt... I found a folder with approved stories. John! It wasn't the editor, it was us. We swapped the article on the 4th page with ours. We had a suitcase. It was soggy and filled with notes and clippings. I remember it was important somehow.
Is that all, my friend?
John, no, wait. I'm missing something crucial. The suitcase, where did we get it from?
Okay, Sherlock, focus on it. What can you remember about it?
え、知らんそんな。
I can recall the smell of fish. It was so strong I could taste it.
Ah, I think we were near one of those fish warehouses, big ones.
It felt wet and slimy, as if it had lain in the water.
Yes, right. And I remember the sound of horns like they use at the industrial sites. It must be somewhere on the Silverton coast.
That comprises the entirety of my memories on the subject.
So, we are looking for a fish warehouse on the coast of Silverton that stands...
It seems so, my friend.
Silverton シルバートン地区。シルバートン地区。フォームチェンジ。
Could you help me?
Sounds familiar, but no. Ask someone else.
水辺にある。水辺にある漁槽。
Help me, please.
I used to work in a factory too, but things changed. Come back when you change too, then we'll talk.
May I ask you something?
I've never heard of it. I'm sorry.
Excuse me, just one question.
Nah, that's new to me. I'm sorry, mate.
ここら辺じゃないのか。港を探さないといけないか。あれ？でも君がいるな。君がいるってことはここら辺だ。
May I ask you something?
I'm too tired for your questions.
Could you help me?
Nah, that's new to me. I'm sorry, mate.
Time to check your who, what and what, Sherry. Who are you asking, about what and dressed as what?
Dailyジョンが出てくるところにいるんだけど。
May I ask you something?
I don't know, my friend. Perhaps someone else knows?
Is this familiar to you?
I don't know, my friend. Perhaps someone else knows?
Oh, I am bored.
Is this familiar to you?
I wish I could help you.
Can I ask you a question?
Workers help each other. I'll guide you.
OK。北部の海岸の西側。 北部の海岸の西側。こっちってこと？ついでに見つけてしまった。コインめんどくさいからいいかな。コインはきついな、全部見つけるの。幼き日のコルドナはやってもいいかもしれんけど、一個一個がもうそもそも難解だからな。ヒントの出し方がマジでな、あれなんだよね、このゲーム。マジかさりげなさすぎてさ、さりげなさすぎてわかんないんだよ、ヒントが。よいしょ。北部海岸西側。ここまでシルバーだ。
Greeting.
どこだ？これか。
John, this is the spot. Let's see what we can recall. We found a rope tied to one of the books. We pulled and a suitcase emerged. How did we know where to look? What am I missing? This doesn't seem relevant. This doesn't seem relevant. Brown algae. We were specifically looking for it. I think we saw it on someone nearby. I think I can remember where.
All right, lead the way.
こっちか。あれだね。
It was night. We saw a man with ink-stained fingers and a notebook. A journalist. His scared look and hasty steps smelled of adventure. We followed. Another man appeared. He was casually dressed, but his haircut and posture revealed him to be a soldier. The journalist quickly changed direction. Another disguised soldier cut the journalist off. He was cornered. We hid behind the barrels and watched.
樽の後ろ。
The three men argued. The soldiers demanded something from the journalist, but he refused. Their words grew louder, and someone pushed the reporter.
He stumbled and fell over the edge. After one horrible yell, he hit the ground. The soldiers vanished. We waited to be safe, then went to him.
Blood was everywhere. I was in shock, but you kept your cool. You noticed that his shoes had a layer of salt and brown algae stuck to his leg.
Those men demanded something from him. I wanted to find out what was so valuable as to kill for. And so we did. Made it public.
The journalist Hector Jacobson. People built a memorial after his death.
Oh,
that might be a good backdrop for our picture. Let's find it.
あれジェイコブソンの記念碑って俺さ、どっかで見つけなかった。これだよ。頭見つけてた。いや、にしてもこれ徒歩がきつい。あ、ドイツ安価な骨董品やってどこ？こうしたか。
Hector Jacobson was killed for his story, yet it still came to light. A lesson for those less noble. You cannot bury the truth.
I think here is a good place for a picture, Sherry.
写真撮ったよ。これ見つけないといけないのか。うん。次回で。ちょっとメイン進めよう。ちょっと全部やるの大変すぎるわ。
Exquisite furniture for your home. My goods will brighten up your house. Enjoy your purchase.
間違えた。強そうな格好にしとこう。気球のあるお家、あれだね。
That wretch Goliath would murder us all. Mark my words.
黄金の牢獄。
Destruction and trampled ground. Destruction and trampled ground.
あ、また死んでる。結構無残に死んでるわ。
Oof, a contortionist you were not. Disjointed vertebrae. Difficult to say if it was a way to start or finish him off.
事故じゃない。
A kneecap reduced to splinters.
膝の皿が粉々。
A belt from a dressing gown. Curious.
部屋着のベルト。この2つのくぼみは何？引きずられた跡もあるけど。どれ？どれ？どこ？あれ？どこだ？これか。
A missing pinky. Middle-aged. It's none other than Theodore Gilden.
Oh boy, Sherlock. Another death means another question.
And we shall answer the question. It's far too interesting to give it up to the police. An amount of attention that most can only dream of. Didn't we get to fly in it as children? I doubt it could hold my weight today. A strong pull broke this leash.
猛獣でも飼ってた。あ、象か。
Poke the elephant with this? Really? People are hopeless.
A pool of blood and saliva, possibly as a result of impact.
Sherlock, take a picture of the footprint. It's valuable evidence. This photograph can help us find the old article about the elephants. The front page was fascinating. It was hard to believe as a child.
True. We may need it in our investigation. A royal suite for a favorite pet.
Plenty of food to satisfy even the most fastidious.
De ジョンのおかげで子供の頃読んだ新聞記事を思い出して象のような美しい動物を見たのがそれが初めてだった。これ調べろってことか。10年ほど前、 著名人かな。これか。百獣のイアン・メインジーズ博士。地球最大の動物であるこの巨大で友好的な動物は、この大きさ、知能、仲間との意思疎通など魅力的な要素にあふれている。
That's the article. Feeling old already?
「ゾウはどうでもいいんだよ。どけどけどけどけ。開かない。まだ調べてないものがある。そりゃこんな狭いとこにいたらゾウも怒り狂うよな。
He was certainly under pressure.
A coal gas tank, enough to pump up an airship. A sailor's knife, useful for cutting wet and thick ropes. A sailor's knife, It's seen a lot of use. The blade is worn from grinding.
どこを調べるのかな。
Fresh signs of impact. A rough landing led to an altercation with this shed.
ちゃうやろ。縛られた。血だまりの横にあった鍵のついた棒には血は付着していない。 こうだろうね。
You're not even trying, Sherry.
違うのか。
Concentrate.
じゃあこうか。
In a fit of rage, the elephant broke the chain and threw its victim on the ground with a fierce power. Escaping the scene, it pulled the body with it, but dropped it at the gate. At least some of this was witnessed by a third party who was hurled against the shed. The elephant can't have gone too far. I can still track it.
Well, suppose you find it. Then what? Push it all the way back to the manor?
象は逃げ出した。
Excuse me, just one question.
I don't talk to ruffians. Sorry.
私がゴロつきに見えますか？
Are you able to help me?
That's a question I can answer.
ゴライアスと名付けられた象はグリークブリッジを渡り、かつてセオドアに連れられた森に向かった。グリークブリッジを渡り、こっちじゃない？これかな？いやー、移動が大変だな。
The elephant barged into this cart of olive oil.
What if we're lucky and he slipped and fell somewhere along the way?
よくみんな平然としてるの。大騒動だろう。私を送ったこの木のようにコルドエナへの私の感謝の気持ちは大きくなっていくだろう。
Okay, hear me out. If an elephant falls in the forest and there's no one around to...
John, no.
Oh, you're such a killjoy.
象と戦うのかな。勝てないと思うけど、あんな皮膚に銃弾刺さんのかな。ホームズ持ってるちっちゃい小銃なんかで、まあとどめを刺す前に確実にやられるだろうな。じゃあ水に入れないの？
Strange. It was hung with care. The game has escaped us for now. We'll find a solution to the elephant problem later.
お、手紙。セオドアさん、同じ島の住民としてこの手紙をあなたに書きます。あなたの友情はこの島の住民たちの生活も同じぐらい尊いもの。どこかで私は周りに影響力がないと思われている。 彼らが恐れているのはあなたが象の調教を専門家に任せるのではなく、ご自身の知識だけで行おうとしていること。コルドナ市長ウィリアム・シンクレア。もう一回ここ戻れんのかな。これで部屋が開くのかな。
Yo, why do I get the worst jobs?
This young lady has a childish interest for her age.
すごいな。ザ金持ちだな。うわ、象牙まであるし。
You. Who are you?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. Theodore Gilden was...
Did you kill him? Did you kill the elephant?
It's not in the yard anymore. It escaped into the forest.
You can't let it go. What if it returns?
I highly doubt that, Miss...
Imogen Gilden. Please, I beg of you, find that dreadful beast that killed my father.
I suppose we do need to learn what happened.
なかなかのファッションセンスだな。
Can you tell me what happened? From the very start.
I was here, so I didn't see how it began. My father visits the enclosure every morning to wake up Goliath. Today, I heard the elephant scream. I've never heard such a horrifying sound. My heart stopped. I knew something was wrong. I looked through my window and saw how it lifted my father up by his neck. I rushed downstairs. I saw it dragging my father as if he were a doll. I threw stones at it. It dropped my father's body and charged outside, screaming. Its roar was almost human. I was frightened, so I ran inside and hid here.
That is a terrifying experience, Miss Gilden. I'm sorry you had to go through it.
Thank you. Goliath must be caught, Mr. Holmes.
Well, thank you for the information, Miss Gilden. I did have some questions for your father. Perhaps you might help me with them?
I wasn't privy to much of my father's life, and it's very hard.
Very well. Do you mind if I ask...
Anything to catch that monster?
Had Goliath been aggressive before?
It's dangerous, but it was never aggressive near my father. My father would do anything for Goliath. All the elephant had to do was clap its ears.
You envied him, the elephant, I mean?
Our house is called the House of Ivory. I've heard some people refer to me as the Ivory Girl, and my room stinks of the animal, as if it's me who lives in a pen and not Goliath. It's not envy, Mr. Holmes. It's just incredibly difficult to live like this.
Did you observe anyone else in the yard? Any of your servants, perhaps?
Servants? Do you imagine that we would have any with Goliath? No one wishes to... I didn't see anyone else. Only my father and that diabolical beast.
Miss Gilden, I was on this island 10 years ago, and your father knew my mother. I believe I... But I do not recall seeing you.
I lived at my late mother's in Sheffield at the time. I'm in no spirit to reminisce right now. The elephant is out there.
You've never heard the name Violet Holmes before? Perhaps your father...
Please, Mr. Holmes.
Very well.
ダメか。
She packed as much as she could carry.
捨てるだけの荷物を詰め込んでいる。おう。
False idols? Oh, sounds utterly dreary.
虚構の偶像。違うのか。これか。うん、違うのか。これか。
The same dull poses on all romantic photographs.
Romantic photograph.
So idyllic. Enjoy your happily ever after before it stales.
Hey, Sherry, we need to talk. You found false idols. We need to find the remaining two.
What does bazooka even mean? Would this paper be good for anything but blowing one's nose on?
They're not rubbish, Sherry. There's something more. I'm serious.
Very well. I doubt it'll be worth it, but I will find them for you, John.
You'll thank me later. They're some of the most imaginative books I've ever read.
What did you say?
Speaking aloud helps me think. A commendable effort to barricade the windows.
飛ばせるのはこのぐらいか。証拠提示。
I found this. Who's this young lad next to you, your faithful knight?
Paul. He's my pirate. He's not really a pirate. I just call him that. It probably sounds very silly.
Your secret is safe in my hands. Does Paul work somewhere? What is his surname?
His name is Paul Perks. He and his yacht Whirlpool are the champions of the Salacia Yacht Club. He sails there. I'll show you where it is on the map if you need to meet him.
A yachting champion? Well, that will be a first. I prefer dry land. And so does my suit. These bags of yours, it looks as if you've packed your entire room. Were you planning on going somewhere?
My partner and I, we wanted a change, a fresh start abroad. But now I have to stay here. Here, an orphan.
How can you read something like this? It's hard to...
You're hardly serious. Any library without Nabe and Laura is incomplete. If you can read, then these books are an absolute must. Love and adventure. They're about life.
Oh, I wasn't aware that exploding pyramids were a part of daily life on Cordona.
You haven't seen life, so you might try reading about it at least. I can't think of anything else, Ren.
Hmm? バズーカ電気、これこの部屋の中にあんの？サンシアロットヨットクルー、これか。
No.
Who's a cute bird?
これ出ちゃっていいのかな。この部屋にある。
The nicest spot in the room. Mr. Gilden spent hours of his life right here.
Staring at an elephant's backside. What a wonderful life.
すごいな、趣味の部屋だな。
quite the spectrum, from the history of the Roman Empire to conspiracy theories of the French Revolution. Mother. It's nice to see her young and smiling. From before Mycroft was born, our family loves to prod at the past.
Holmes's desire to rake up the past is hereditary.
What's so special about this place? Another elephant?
Ibori bars.
A partnership annulled with a single stroke of a pen. A catchy title. I should take a photograph of the plans. I don't want to carry them around.
Okay. 動画の浴槽。象男。旅芸人の一族がインド象を購入した。ほうほうほう。この島で象に快適な住居を与えることができるのは私だけだ。
His second child? An apparent son and heir, I'd say. A relatively functional choice to replace the finger.
指。ああ、象好
pungent
きなんだ
stench of an
な。
animal.
本当に象
Theodore
好き
seeks
なん
some
だな。
pink elephants with this.
I think Miss Gilden has barely matured. I think they were closer than you and me, John.
I'm hurt.
めちゃくちゃ象好きじゃん。
Looks eccentric and smells eccentric.
Hum, あれ、これがわからんな。
A. Swift, is this name familiar to you? Your father had it removed from this plan.
Oh, that's Arthur Swift. I've seen him a couple of times here. He works with my father in the old city, digging up something ancient.
He is an archaeologist?
That's the word, yes. But to be truthful, I really don't think Mr. Swift is fit to be one. I've just learnt a lot about archaeology from my favourite book series. Oh, they are page-turners.
Inspirational, I'm sure, but would you happen to know where this Mr. Swift might be found?
I don't. But perhaps you can find out somewhere. My father's work with him is all official. Lots of boring legal papers with signatures and stuff.
And, which part of the elephant is in here? It's quite...
Oh, that. It's elephant sweat.
象の汗。
Father believed that it might replace traditional ambergris.
Well, that's true entrepreneur spirit.
「バズーカ電気どこにあるんだ?」全部この屋敷の中にあんのかな、そもそも。でももうないよな。
I can always recognize the spirit of a true artist.
ああ、じゃあもうないな。 誰かお話を聞かせてください。
Are you able to help me?
There is no amount of money that would make me talk.
紳士はいないか。
Help me, please.
I would never deny you, sir, but I know nothing about this.
Time to check your who, what, and what, Sherry. Who are you asking? About what? And dressed as what?
Do you know anything about this?
Apologies, sir, but I've never heard of it.
ダメだ。
May I ask you something?
I am sorry to disappoint you, but I don't know about that.
This isn't working. You might need a different tack.
まあヨットクラブ行ってみるか。ヨットクラブに行ってみましょうかね。
You'll never find such magnificent paper. My goods will brighten up your house.
フォーム付け。はあ。
Enjoy your purchase.
金がねえんだよ。
Garden statues. My goods will brighten up. Enjoy your purchase.
で、ヨットクラブ。
Are you able to help me?
That's a question I can answer.
ヨットクラブの人間は朝からポールを見ておらず、彼は競技にも出なかったという。ポールはヨットクラブの南側にある彼の工房の彼の部屋にいるかもしれない。お、なんかここめちゃくちゃなんかゴロつきと戦いそうな雰囲気だな。 ああ、まあ来とこうかな。何やってんのお前。
The Champion's Whirlpool. Pools bread and butter. Bloodied bandages. Has someone been hurt?
Where would a champion hide a key?
競技選手なら鍵をどこに隠すかな。
A foghorn to navigate and warn others at sea.
It should have a warning to cover your ears.
A foghorn to navigate and warn others at sea.
缶詰がめちゃくちゃある。
Sails of hatred.
Who knew archaeology could be so exciting?
Exciting is certainly a word.
We can become pirates and show them what should be stored in here.
バズーカ。これか。
I know Paul is more skilled at yachting than he is at hiding keys.
じゃない。こっちか。
Bloodied bandages. To earn big, you have to spend big.
愚かなペテン師め、私の家族から金を巻き上げられると思っているのか。私の金を娘を利用してもうたくさんの貴様は終わりだ。最後の警告を与えてやる。協力しながら海の底に沈めてやる。ギルって。
Mr. Gilden wasn't afraid to get his hands dirty. Additional earnings to sweeten the victory.
勝利を彩る。
An interesting place for a message to a champion. Old betting slips. Paul always bets on Whirlpool. One victory after another. A box full of darts. Each has a needle and can be loaded with drugs.
針に薬を仕込める。
An expensive set of tools for woodwork. An amateur wouldn't know how to use these. Shipbuilding, shipwright's tricks, sail weaving.
他に調べるところはない。まだでも怪しげなメモ。海の底に沈めてやると本当に海の底に沈んでるんじゃない？これか。
Undeniably psychotropes.
抗精神薬には違いないが、虫歯用ではない。
A typical tea tin. I wonder what he has for biscuits.
Oi! Hands off my possessions before you lose your fingers. Are you illiterate? The rules are written everywhere.
Ah, Mr. Perks, the cabin boy himself.
Champion, you mean? I was right. You are illiterate. I think a couple of shiners might teach you. One last chance.
Who are you? 声が高いな。
I am a friend of Theodore Gilden. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I need a few words from you about...
Get out of here. I'm not joking. Leave this place before you have cause to regret it. I will use force.
Do the police still throw people in prison for smuggling? Oh yes, with you helpless and handcuffed, I'd learn a few more secrets. We don't need to compete with our egos now,
めちゃくちゃ重装備だけどこ
Oh
っち
no. I'd rather you tell me something more, so that I might have more reasons to punch you
声変わ
out.
りしてないのかなこいつ。ああ、女性、なるほど。だから声が高いのか。なんか子供みたいな声変わりしてないのかなって思った。なるほどね。女性にしては男らしいけど。これか。オールパークスは高い社会的地位を求めて男装した女性だ。自分の個人的な目標を達成するため男性として特権を利用している。複数のコルドナギャングへの密輸品を隠すため、競技戦として高橋を利用している。うん。なるほど。まあでも、どうなんだろうな。実際でも密輸品が彼女の部屋の中にあったわけではないんだよね。まあでも密輸業者だろ。
So, a woman wishes to become a real criminal, and smuggling is a stepping stone towards that? Is there not enough prestige in yachting? Or is it easier to compete with other fools like yourself? Everyone has a starting pistol, just shoot and run.
Don't say a word. I don't know where you're getting half of this nonsense, but you're on some thin ice here that I'm willing to crack.
Damn you, Paul. I'm sick of... Who's this peacock? Does he know who I am?
I definitely know who you are not. You're not a dictionary reader, at least. I wanted to see how you... pals interact with each other in your natural habitat. But I'm afraid I have to interfere.
悪いが勧誘させてもらうよ。こっちとら重装備だぞ。
Dodge this!
Take a rest, my friend.
このナイフがな、後ろにしかあれがないからな。
I'm gonna hurt you.
Too simple.
ナイフどうにかして。
The snuff's ready.
Don't bother moving.
Give him the pepper snuff.
いらっしゃい。あ、ダメだった。あ、ダメだ。
You can overcome the brute now.
Just die! I couldn't miss the party.
Take a rest,
Shinjo,
my
Shinjo.
friend.
Take this!
It's all yours now. Go for it.
Hey.
Too simple. Take a rest, my...
The snuff's ready. Time to knock this guy out.
Terrible, son. Don't cry, you'll live.
Give him the pepper snuff.
No more
The snuff's ready.
これ服装による防御力のアップとか多分ない。
There's no reward for risking our lives.
Paul's explanation will suffice.
Eh. ポール・パークスの職場を見つけた。そこにあった職場がポールはヨットではいはいはい。ポールを追ってる話で新襲撃された。どういうことかポールに説明してもらおう。はい。どこポール？いたわ。
Your fellow mariners have a strange way of showing hospitality.
They were not my friends.
Are you sure? I would rather risk my neck for someone who's at least honest and thankful.
Perhaps then don't enter someone's life and be so judgmental, pretending you're better than they are.
Then give me your perspective and allow me to see through your eyes. I tried to tell you before, but your partners interrupted. Have you heard the news? Theodore Gilden is dead. Do you have anything to say?
Well, what a shock. To me, he was an angry old ogre. Good riddance. Was it Goliath that killed him? Did it crush him? Break his bones? Come on, tell me. I want all the details.
You have an unusual way of showing grief. Imogen wouldn't appreciate that. But yes, the animal could have been involved.
It's poetic in a way, isn't it? It takes a beast to kill a monster. I wish I could have been that elephant.
What were you doing this morning, Miss Perks?
Don't call me that. I'm a champion. I was sailing.
The other club members told me that you missed the race this morning. Do champions not need to practice?
Ugh, you've talked with them already. No, I wasn't racing. I visited the doctor after that attack on me. And then I had to honor the deal with the bandits you just took care of.
You're asking for trouble with this smuggling business. You'd better leave it before they smuggle you out in a barrel.
Don't patronize me. I've only ever had trouble with law-abiding citizens like Gilden and you. Never bandits. So ask me anything you want, and then get out of my sight. I don't know what this means.
You smuggle illicit psychotropes on your yacht. Not a delivery for the hospital, I'm sure.
Of course not. I've had to cut corners to earn some money. How might a person afford to pay for a yacht in an honest way? I don't know, although I'm smart. The buyers are my customers. Adults who are willing to pay for their pleasure, or weapons for jewels. Whatever they want me to deliver. Nothing criminal.
Well, it's your lucky day. I'm not here because of smuggling. Have you tasted this tea yourself?
I wouldn't have been a champion if I had used it. It's just a side business that keeps my career afloat. It's quite expensive to compete in yachting. Sometimes I cut corners.
Such as fixing whirlpool yourself?
Exactly. And sometimes I just have to pay. That's how I earn money. I don't sell slaves or take the last mangear from a poor family.
Look what I found. A box full of darts.
Hey, that's mine.
I confiscated it. These darts appear to be filled with something. Poison? How powerful is it?
It's strychnine. Enough to instantly kill a small rodent. I haven't tried it on a human. Yet. I hope you know what you're doing.
Could it immobilize a larger animal? Say, an elephant?
I've never tried, but I have wondered.
It seems as though Theodore Gilden hung a sword of Damocles over your life and career. Were these only words or something more serious?
Check my forearm. Pulled muscles and bruises. Small cuts. Nothing that you could call serious.
I doubt that a man in his late 50s could wrestle you.
It wasn't him. He behaved like a rat and hired brutes. His boys tried to lock my hands behind my back, but I was faster and I escaped.
Was he so protective of his daughter, or was it your feminine secret that provoked him?
My guess is that he was protecting his property. As he saw it, he owned Imogen, and he treated her like a piece of furniture. He didn't want his daughter to be loved by anyone. What's more painful is that Theodore didn't allow me to love his daughter.
I'm not sure that your relationship with Imogen could be described as typical.
Are you afraid of a woman in trousers? Now that's typical of men.
A. Swift. Are you familiar with this name? The gentleman had business with Mr. Gilden.
Likely just another strange and wrinkled fellow like old Gilden was. In other words, I don't know who he is, but I bet he's crazy like Theodore.
I doubt that Cortona has ever boasted a battle arena for that size of mammal. You have an interesting imagination. Imogen doesn't strike me as an industrious young lady, so I find it strange that she was busy packing up all her belongings when Mr. Gilden died. That's some favorable wind in your sails, isn't it?
Is it so suspicious that a couple might embark on a trip? I wanted to thank her, so we planned to go traveling. A Theodore-free place, without elephants.
The timing of it is suspicious, however. Your lady friend becomes an orphan and heir, and there's a planned trip directly afterwards.
An improvised romantic dinner will never please a spoilt girl. A planned voyage might. It's not spur of the moment.
Does this knife seem familiar? I didn't find it in your competitor's back, to be clear.
This knife is as blunt as... It's a bosun's knife, but it's not mine.
What can you tell me about the elephant?
He's smarter than some people here, including his owner.
Why is that? Have you ever seen Goliath attack anyone?
Well, not exactly. But I saw it, abusing some poor tree during one of its walks with Theodore. The expression on that old ninny's face was
A charming picture. I've heard that champions do often pose with their trophies.
Cheeky. It is a lovely trophy, though. I'm sure you...
What is it that you like most about her?
A somewhat difficult choice. Especially now that her father is out of the equation. I don't know what you're suggesting.
Between yachts, darts, and notes from bandits, I've discovered many fascinating facts about you. But this, an installment of Nabe and Laura's adventures. Why did you sully your library with this?
It's a gift from Imogen.
I will give you the benefit of the...
Just be quick.
Okay.まあ次調べるとしたらこれだね。はい、まあちょっと長くなってしまいましたが、こんなところにしておきましょうか。はい。続きはまた次回。明日はないかな。っていう感じでございます。ちょっとね、でもサイドストーリー、若干なんかめんどくさいサイドストーリー、この前みたいに事件を解くっていうだけだったら別によかったんだけど、ちょっとこう、島中歩き回るクエストはちょっと面倒なので、まあたまにやるぐらいにしようかな。もうちょっとさすがに全部はやらないかもしれないけど、見かけて、ちょっと特に効果はめんどくさいな。だいぶめんどくさいから。まあ、幼き日のコルドナをやるぐらいかなと思います。はい。まあ、ということで、お疲れさんでございましたと。続きはまた次回。はい、以上。 お疲れさんでした。バイバイ。